going on, everybody? It's me, Jason with Buy Build Sell, your Los Angeles contractor and developer. And today we are on my monument project. Now we're going to go over 3 different things, but the one thing you need to find out about later on in this video, how many levels of drywall finish do we put in the house? Now we're going to go over testing your shower pans, lath in the shower, and drywall levels. Stick around so you can learn something new. See you soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. What we're looking at right now is the shower pan to the primary bathroom. We're doing 2 things. One, we're gonna make sure that the slope is appropriate, meaning that all the water that sits in this pan will slope towards the drain. 2, we're looking to make sure that this pan can actually hold water and it won't actually spill out into the rest of the home. That's really an important feature, if you ask me. So, one of the interesting ways of testing that slope is using a stick. This is a bad stick to use, but we'll give it a try anyways, because you kind of want to be able to see the water line on where you put things. So I'll step right here, and I'll be able to put the pipe right in there, and I'll see, it got that much water, and you can kind of see how deep the water is, right? And then I can go up here, and I can test to see that the new water line is below it. Now, that's the issue with these black pipes. You can't really tell that much, but you can kind of see the water line came just below that one. So you know that it's sloping, right? You can just sort of walk through and test it briefly and check it out. But then obviously you'll go into the center, you'll make sure that that's the deepest point. So you'll actually want to be able to consume almost all of the water that you have in there to make sure, but that was a bad test. The idea is the same. I don't have a piece of drywall or a nice stick that would really show that well on me. But that's the idea. So 1, test your levels, make sure that everything is sloping appropriately towards the drain, because once they start sitting that tile, the tile will do a lot of the work. But remember, water can percolate below the tile, and that's what this pan is for. It's actually catching all that extra water that's in the shower, catches it onto the waterproofing, and out underneath the drain as well. So you actually want to make sure that the pan itself is also doing the proper sloping that the shower needs it to have, okay? Let's go to number 2, which is shower lath. All right, so you're watching right now us installing the paper and the lath that goes onto the bathrooms and the showers and the tubs and all that stuff. This is actually the behind the scenes of the finished tile, okay? So, similar to the house wrap, okay? That's what basically this is doing. This is actually creating multiple membranes for us to have water hitting against to drain down to the bottom. Now, if you remember, the pan is completely sealed. So what this is doing, the bottom of this paper, the paper on the bottom here, is overlapping on top of that sill pan. So any water that would hit this paper, okay, so if it's going through the tile, through the mesh, and it's hitting this paper, any moisture that's against that paper is going to hit that paper, roll down onto the waterproofing and out to the pan and out into the drain. Just like this, we'd be testing this pan to make sure that that slope is going appropriately to the end of the drain. Now, once we put the paper on, that's our waterproofing for the shower pan itself, for the shower enclosure itself. Now we're going to be putting the lath on, and on top of that, we're going to put the scratch and the brown, and then our tile finish, right? Similar to stucco in that matter, but basically that's what it is. And if you see all of this caulking, what that is, that's actually sealing the penetrations that we've made through the paper to kind of seal it and make sure that we don't have any issues later, okay? Let's talk about drywall finishes now. So if you didn't know, there are actually 5 levels of drywall finish, but I'm actually gonna take you down to level 6 of drywall finishes, okay? So people don't necessarily even think that this is a finish, but it actually is one, okay? 0. Drywall finish 0. And that is just when you install drywall and you already have plans for a finished material on top of it. Now, wallpaper might not work on that because you'll see the joints and stuff like that, but if you're putting, a solid board or a big panel of some sort on top of drywall, you don't actually need to do any finishes at all. So there's your drywall 0 finish for you. Now, level 1 looks like this, okay? It's just 1 coat on top of your nails, 1 coat on top of your joints. Level 2, doing that again. On top of your joints, you're putting the paper with the joint compound on all your joints, you're doing 2 levels on top of the nails. Level 3, you're doing that again, but you're going heavy on the corners as well. So all of your end locations. Level 4 is pretty much another coat. Now what these coats are doing is they're leveling out the drywall material itself. Now if you can see right here, this is actually the material itself. There's no compound on this yet. The only way to put compound on this section right here is to go to level 5. And that's when you're actually leveling everything out consistently, where you have a full plane from one point to the next with this with the joint compound or the mud compound, whatever material we're using. We're putting that across the whole entire wall and the whole section. So everything is completely covered. Now there's multiple reasons to use every level, okay? Most people go at least to level 3. At level 3, that's when you can start putting primer on the wall. You can put wallpaper on there, or if it's you know, an apartment level sort of grade, you probably don't need to go beyond that finish. Level 4, you're really gonna get a better like picture reveal and lighting reveal when you're done priming. Like the light and the way it's gonna hit the wall, it's gonna look better in terms of how everything is going to be seen. So if you're taking pictures in that space, you might want to not be able to see so many like undulations in the wall or whatever. And that level 5 is going to give you that perfect finish every single time. So in our homes, we always go level 5, never level 6, because there's only 6 options, but it goes from 0 to 5, not 1 to 6, okay? Pay attention here. But that's drywall for this little moment right here. You see how we hit you with knowledge on a shower pan, on creating lath in the shower, and different drywall levels of finishes? That's what this channel is about. Education, knowledge, bringing more information to you. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.